Chocolate. Most of us enjoy this delicious treat, but how many of us know how these yummy brown bars are actually made? In this video, I will follow the whole chocolate making process from tree to bar.
Well, good morning guys. I am off with Héctor to the cacao plantation today, which was supposed to be an early start. We were supposed to leave very early this morning, but after some car troubles and a nice breakfast, we are finally on the road 2.5 hours after our planned time to leave. We're going to head off to about an hour just outside of Tutsla, where we will be going to the cacao plantation of Héctor's dad. Yep, of Héctor's dad, where I'm going to be seeing the whole process from tree to the bean to the chocolate. So I'm going to take you guys through the story of the chocolate production, and yeah, we're going to be there in about an hour or so. We have made it to the ranch that we will be working on today, and this is where we're going to be roasting and grinding the cacao beans to actually make the chocolate. Before chocolate is actually, or the beans are roasted and all that, they go from the pod on the tree to a fermentation process. So they are first fermented before they actually get roasted, but that doesn't happen at this current location. This happens at a cacao plantation that I've been to before. So that's where that whole process happens, and then the beans come here to be roasted and to be grinded. For now, we're going to start off with planting some cacao trees, because the area on this ranch is going to be used as like a demonstrative purpose to show other people how the whole process of cacao actually works. And Héctor was telling me that there's this one tree in this specific location that stays leafy throughout the year, and since cacao grows very well in shade, this is the perfect location to be planting the cacao trees. I get to do this in this area?
Yes.
Does it matter where?
No, choose a place.
Choose a place? Okay. Oh, the butterfly! Okay. I want to do it by the butterfly. Oh man. Whoops.
Cool.
Okay. So the first part of the process here today is going to be the roasting. So it makes most sense that I'll show you guys the beans that are going to be roasted, and then I'll take you on a little bit of an exploration of the area and show you some of the beans that are growing here at the moment.
This coffee was a gift from a friend of El Triunfo.
Wow, is this the smell of it?
I think so.
Oh yeah, this is the smell. Wow.
These are cacao, fermented beans. See?
This is not the smell that I would expect a chocolate bean to have.
Still not chocolate.
It's still not chocolate, a cacao bean. A fermented cacao bean.
Once the fermented raw beans were inside, it was time to heat up the roaster. First, Héctor lit the gas heater, which is placed under the roasting machine, after which the beans are put into the roaster, where they are tumbled around as they roast. The process of roasting the beans takes around an hour and a half. While we waited for the beans to roast, we enjoyed some fresh watermelon to quench our thirst from the heat.
I'm just walking away because the machine makes so much sound, but I've gotten a roasted cacao bean which I'll be trying. It's come straight out of the roaster. Apparently it's almost done. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's very nice. And the smell before the cacao beans actually went into the roaster was quite weird, and now it's starting to smell more and more of like what you would realize chocolate is. Okay, so the roasting process is finished. Now we're going to put the beans outside where they can cool down, because when they're still too warm, they become too elastic and too soft to actually go into the peeler. Whereas if they are cool, that means that they are more brittle, more hard, and they'll peel more easily. now that the cooling process has finished, it is time to put the beans in the peeler where the shell, Hector, the shell is going to be taken off of it?
Yes.
Okay, so the shell is going to be removed from the beans. As Hector explained to me, in the inside of the machine there is a drum that is at an angle, and the top part of the drum releases the small cacao nibs. Then you have medium cacao nibs, big cacao nibs, and then you have the actual cacao bean that comes out at the end. So when the cacao goes in through the top, it starts rotating, and then the little pieces will find their ways where they will go out based on their size. So if they are too big and they end up in the bottom drawer because they're just these big chunks of cacao, they will go through the process again. And then the big cacao nibs are used to be sold as cacao nibs, and the smaller ones will be milled in the next part of the process to actually start and make the chocolate. I think they have allowed me into their pack. They keep following me everywhere I go. I have become one with the turkeys. So the next part of the process is that the cacao beans are going to be milled into something that's called the cacao paste. And from what I've understood, you can also add sugar already in this part of the process so that you've already got the sweeter paste before going into the refinery and making the chocolate. So now we're going to take the ground up the peeled beans and we're going to be putting them into the mill to make the paste.
These are the millstones. These go inside this mill.
Yeah.
We will make a rough mill of this cacao.
I also asked Hector how many beans go into a chocolate bar, how many roasted beans go into a chocolate bar, but he didn't know. So I'm taking 10 beans with me, so when we go to his house to actually make the chocolate, we can weigh out the difference and I can give you guys the answer of how many roasted cacao beans go into a chocolate bar. Round 2.
The first round of milling made the cacao very fine, so it was time to do another round. This round would turn this fine cacao into a paste. And while I gave this process a try, the chickens outside were enjoying some of the leftover cacao from the peeler.
We have finished here at the ranch with the process of making the paste. Now we're going to go back to Tuxtla, to Hector's place where he has a refinery. And this is where we're going to add the vanilla and actually start making the chocolate, which I'm really excited about because I would love to taste the end results. We have made it to Hector's place where we'll be doing the refining process. But first, like I mentioned earlier, we are going to weigh the roasted cacao beans to see how many beans you actually need to make a bar of chocolate. And a bar of chocolate is 50 grams, you say?
100 grams. No,
A bar,
grams.
90? A bar of chocolate is 90 grams, so we'll do the calculation now. 10 beans, so 10 beans is 11.5 grams. So let's say that one bean is 1 gram. You'll need 90. You need more than 90.
Yeah, and this is not peeled.
And this is not peeled.
100.
So let's say you need 100 beans per Wow, okay.
To make his dark chocolate, Héctor uses 10% sugar and 90% cacao. This mixture is heated to make it softer to be put into the refiner.
I like how it goes.
This process was going to take a while, so while the sugar cacao mixture was fined down, Héctor and I decided to have a beer and play some guitar.
I was sitting at a dentist's in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistants in their dreams.
The refining process was still going to take a few hours, so unfortunately I couldn't stick around to see the end product, as I had to get one of the last buses back from Tuxtla back to San Cristobal where I was staying.
Okay, so I'm going to try the chocolate at least, because I'm not going to be able to try the bar form in this video, but I'll try the liquid form just to let you guys get a glimpse on what it actually tastes like. Okay. Oh, you want to put it... Okay, yeah. Ah! Just so you see. It's very strong though. Very strong chocolate, but it is a 90% cacao dark chocolate. But it tastes really, really good. And this just shows the craftsmanship that is in this chocolate. It's not a mass production, little bit of cacao, a shit ton of fat and sugar type of chocolate. This is real chocolate. So because I won't be able to see the finished product, this is what the packaging, the new packaging of the chocolate bar is going to look like. But then this is going to be silver, the wrapping, and this is going to be brown and moved across. And because we're making a vanilla bar, this is a packaging of the vanilla.
With thanks to Héctor for filming the last part of the process himself, I was able to complete this video of following the bean from tree to bar. Like I mentioned before, this isn't a mass production chocolate, it is craftsmanship. And it inspires me to see people like Héctor who have so much passion for what they do, taking the quality and the process seriously and doing it with so much love. And in his case, making high quality artisanal chocolate that honors the cacao. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about the chocolate making process in the comments. Have you ever seen this process before?